This last presentation is also about the effects of shading nets, not in Italy, but now in the southwest of France vineyard. In southwest of France, we observe an increase in the annual mean temperature of about 0.3 degrees per decade since the 60s. That means plus 2 degrees in 30 years. The number of days where the maximum temperature rise above 35 degrees is an indicator of extreme events with negative effect on grapevine functioning. It occurs generally 6 days, for example, here in the vineyard of Gaillac for the last 20 years. And at the moment, we already have reached up to 35 days above these 35 degrees C in odd vintages in this region. So our study tries to answer if shading nets could be part of the solution to adapt our vineyard in this region. And for that, we develop several tests. We use nets on only one side or two sides of the canopy. We use different radiation mitigation. We use also several varieties, very international, like Sauvignon Blanc, Merlot, or very local, like Colombard, Gros Manseng, or Negrette. At all the time, we installed the net from fruit set to harvest. So what are the results? As previously said by our colleague from Italy, we have effect on power radiation, and we can measure a great decrease under the net corresponding to the value proposed by the supplier. Here, for example, 75% of decrease. Okay. Second, we have an effect on temperature that are more contrasted. Also, we have at the burnt surface of the temperature a significantly decrease, up to 4 degrees less with the netting. But if we look at the temperature inside the canopy with a sensor in a shelter, then we observe sometimes warming effects or cooling effects depending on situation, hot or cool days, the different period and plots also. About the consequences now on the plant with nitrogen and hydric status, we use the nitrogen analysis in must as indicator of the plant status. And what we observe is a remarkable increase in the nitrogen status of berry, observed almost in all trials and all situations with an average gain of 20%. For the deficit hydric, we use isotopic discrimination of carbon 13 as indicator of plant status. And in market deficit, like in this graph, and with Negrette variety for 3 years, when the carbon is the delta C13 is superior to minus 25, we observe also that the control is significantly more stressed than vines under the netting. Other results, the consequences in phenology and ripeness. The netting delays the start of ripening of grapes. In the case of the date of mid-season, we have up to 5 days delayed for the grapes under the net. And as a consequence, the netting decreased the ripeness parameters of the berry. Sugar, respectively, sugar and acidity was systematically lower or higher for the same harvest. And these effects are even more important the greater is the occultation. What are the results now for the attributes of the wine? Here, an example of comparison between wine made after under netting for 2 sides and 50% of mitigation. And what we observe is less color and less phenolics in red wine for the 3 years in the 2 situations with the Negret variety or Merlot variety. Another observation in wine is in white aroma compounds in white wine with the varietal tile family, which is very interesting for Sauvignon Blanc and Colombard with grapefruit, tropical fruit, and box tree smell in the wine. Then we observe here both positives and negatives effect. 2020 with Sauvignon Blanc, it's an odd vintage, and Colombard in 2022 is also very odd vintage. And you see that we have, in one case, decrease, and in the other one, an increase in aroma compounds in wine with no clear explanation. So we need to have further investigation on that. Okay, so in conclusion, we can say that the use of shade nets is a promising technique for adapting viticulture to climate change. We have significant effect on radiation, more contrasted in temperature, effects on grape and wine. So it was okay. And as my colleague from Italy, we can say that the cost of installation is high, and it seems important that to be able to develop this kind of technique, we need to couple with several other services, maybe lifting in the system, hail protection, of course, disease and pest mitigation also. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for our vine grower partners and financial support too.